night. We just watched Thankful for My Family, and now we have the writer, director, producer, and by the way, if you paid attention to the credits, writer of the novel this is based on, right?
Yes.
Shelton Johnson. So thank you so much.
Yep. Hey, I'm. It's an honor to be here. Thank you. Thanks
It's
for having me.
thoroughly entertaining comedy, family comedy. It's got heart. It's got humor. It's got. It looks like actually a really challenging independent film to make, because if we were lucky enough to be in the theater with your fellow 2020 official selections spread among the audience, I think anyone knows the more cast members you have, the more challenging making a film can be. And I mean, you have a big cast.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
but if you want, go ahead, forget I even mentioned the cast problem right now, and go ahead and talk about the process of how, I mean, you wrote a book and then you went ahead and adapted it to a screenplay and then shot the thing. So I bet you got quite a good story.
Yes. So I had no idea. I had no interest in making a movie whatsoever. This is actually my first movie too, by the way. Had no interest in making it. I wrote 4 novels previously. First novel, it's a funny story, is that I'm gonna make it quick. I wrote this novel for Thankful for My Family, the novel, and I went and took this course that they had here locally at the Writing Center, and it was called Adapting Your Novel for the Big Screen. And I thought they were going to teach us how to, things to put into our books that mainstream producers might want to see. But no, they flew out some Hollywood producer. I can't even remember his name now, but he was just pretty much teaching the screenwriting class. And so at the lunch break, I was sitting in the class bored because I was like, I'm a novelist. I'm not a screenwriter. I'm not doing this. No. And so he was like, he said, do yourself a favor and write a script for it. So, and then he said, let me know how it goes. Let me know when you're done. So I wrote the script for it, went to contact him, and didn't get a reply. So went and tried to sell it to other places. And then I was like, you know what? I got a 7 out of 10 rating on Blacklist too, for it. But I said, you know what? I was sick of waiting for mainstream. I said, you know what? I'll make it myself. And I found a production company to do it, OVR 10 Productions, and did a casting call. I knew nothing about this stuff. I just had an idea in my head, and I was like, I'm gonna go for it. And that's pretty much how it happened. And now all I pretty much write are screenplays now. I haven't written a novel in a while now.
Well, I wanted to ask, because the film is, a lot of your humor is the situation, but I mean, a lot of the humor in the film is dialogue, and
yes,
and it plays out. You almost could have adapted this as a play too, and had people perform this on stage live for an audience. But was the novel, was there more to the novel than the conversations because it's based on a true story. So imagine you just listened to your family and you thought, these people are hilarious. I should write this down.
Right. So it's based on, like you said, it's based on a true story. The real story happened in Thanksgiving of 2010 when my then girlfriend, now wife, came to meet my family over Thanksgiving break. So the movie's more exaggerated. But yes, in the novel, though, you get to know more of the characters and why they are the way they are. It's more depth to the characters. And then you also they all play a little bit bigger role in the novel, because you're not limited to page count like a screenplay when you're limited to anywhere between 90 to 100 pages. So that was the difference.
Yeah, and obviously, I bet in the novel you could just go ahead and write out, more of their motivations, more of their backstory. Yeah, you didn't have to figure out how to get it all on screen.
And that's the funny, because the biggest review I kept getting from people who read the novel were, you should turn this into a movie, man. This would be a hilarious movie. You should turn it into a movie. And so that's why I decided to write the screenplay. And with it being so getting all those comments, that's what inspired me.
I don't know if I froze it. You froze for a second there.
Can you hear me?
For a minute there, you froze. I'm sorry to say.
Okay.
But I think I heard most of your answer. Well, I got you back now. I was going to ask. I was first going to compliment your lead actor, I think, did a wonderful job. Obviously,
Playing me,
he was playing
Marquette
you.
Carney.
Yeah,
Marquette Carney. Yes, he's a great guy too. Me and him actually just on the phone talking about the next project that we're doing. We're planning on filming something next year. Hopefully, COVID goes away. You know.
yeah. I mean, he does a great job as the heart of this film, and he and I think obviously early on in the film, audience members like myself are really hoping that he is going to pop the question, and
Right.
he is going to end up married and be the official stepdad instead of unofficial stepdad. As I hinted
Right.
before we hit record, I have been the guy picking the kid up from school and like
Right.
technically not the official stepfather or anything yet.
Right.
It's
Yep.
modern life can be crazy.
It can be. It throws some curveballs at you. That's for sure.
Yeah. But what was it like directing this when, did you just let these actors run with it and have fun? Were you
Um.
keeping it closer to what your family is like?
Um. No. My rule on set was I had a couple rules. The first thing is you can ad lib, but you can't improv. I had 6 comedians on set, and they wanted to do a lot of improv, and I was like, no, you can ad lib, but you can't improv. The second rule on set was if it's funny, say it. I thought everybody thought the script was hilarious as written. But then when you got 6 comedians on set, all they really did was enhance the jokes that were already written. So I got to give them credit too. And so there was a lot of times when they would go off script and like throw in a joke, and it would just be like, "Oh, we keeping that." And then sometimes some stuff wasn't funny, but most of it was. And then the other rule was just I wanted everybody, even the non-comedians, to be comfortable and feel comfortable enough with me to speak up about ideas that they thought might make the movie better. I welcomed anybody who was on set to come to me with their ideas, because I'm one person, and even though I wrote it and I know how I want it to look in my mind or whatever, it can't all. I used to have a coach used to say the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. So I don't ever want to turn someone away who they might have a good idea. And I would also tell them, if I say no, don't take it personally. Come back to me with your next idea. I might say yes to one of them. So that's how we did it on set. That's how I directed it. I like my actors to be comfortable, and they all relayed to me after we had filmed the movie that they had a blast. We all really became like real family, being in that house and filming to like 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. So it was a lot of fun. It did like real family. People were really upset when we had to leave the set. So
I couldn't help but ask, when you say that you had 6 comedians, were most of the uncles comedians?
yes.
Because those guys playing your uncles, they like the camera. I could tell
Yes.
they were
Yes.
a little. They did a really nice job playing to the camera, I'd say.
Oh yeah. If saw behind the scenes, my goodness. It was my stomach and my cheeks were hurting from laughing so much. I couldn't even say action because I was laughing so hard on one of the takes. I can't remember which scene it was, but I just remember I told the cinematographer Miguel, I was like, dude, you got to say it. I can't stop laughing. I mean, those guys were hilarious. Yeah, and
Well,
Aunt Tam was a kid too.
all right, so you said you shot this in Norfolk. How
Yes.
long a shoot was it? How long did it take you to get this captured?
The first time on set, we thought we could get it done in 5 days again because I had never shot a film before, so that was very lofty of me. So then we came back on set again for 4 days, so 9 days total. It took us to shoot it, and everything really fell in place. The stuff where again, not having any experience, things just seemed to work out, uh, and looking back on it, it was just a great experience. With blessing. It was a blessing, really.
Fantastic. It's funny. Your internet quality dropped. You went from being green to red. So I'm hearing you, but the image is kind
Oh,
of stuttered. I'm sorry to
oh,
say,
oh. Should
but
I
I
try
can still
moving?
hear everything you're saying. That's too bad because
Oh, okay.
earlier it was better. But
Right.
as long as I can hear you, we're good, I guess.
Okay. I think that's what my
Nine
son
day
came
shoot.
upstairs during the middle of the interview. I think that's what he was trying to say. The internet was going in and out probably for him too. I hope it's not Maryland internet. Hmm.
Uh, it's well, I was going to ask. So 9 day shoot, and then how long was it? This was probably a challenging edit, I would think, because you had a lot of dialogue, a lot of performances to cut, and editing comedy is a challenge because it's a timing thing.
Absolutely, yes, and that's why I got to give a shout out to my production crew, Miguel Ocasio and Brandon Hasselrod of OBR 10 Productions. They did a great job editing the film. They really did. They did it all within a matter of like 2 months, I think, um, and it was a lot of phone calls back and forth. And we I see myself breaking up there. we we you can still hear me though, right?
I can hear you perfectly. Yeah, it's just a
Okay.
bummer. It's a bummer that,
Yeah.
but we
So
can hear you.
we actually me and my editors, we live about 4 houses away from each other. So I was over there all the time during those 2 months while they were editing, getting they wanted my feedback. Do you like this? Do you not like this? And it was a lot of back and forth, but we got it done. And it was tough, like you said, because they don't, they're cinematographers, they're editors, they're video guys. They don't necessarily deal in the realm of comedy as I do. So I had to let them know that timing was, like you said, timing was the biggest thing. Letting them know, okay, that's too long of a pause for that joke, or it's too long of a, you know.
And I got to ask, I think I know the answer, but did you throw in a cameo?
Yes, I did.
Are you the coworker? You're the coworker in the beginning?
Yes, I was the coworker Terrence. Yes, yes. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Quentin Tarantino, and I like how he makes little cameos in the movie. Not to downplay Tyler Perry. I think he's a great businessman, and I know he stars in his movies. After being behind the camera, I will tell you, I really enjoy being behind the camera more than in front of the camera. But I like doing the Quentin Tarantino, just a little cameo, and because I write comics, I want to make sure that my part is funny, and then I get on off the screen and go back behind the camera. But
You
yes.
definitely did, because you made your character really damn funny.
Oh, thanks. I
With
appreciate it.
the impossible math of his wife's baby daddies or whatever it was. That was pretty. I actually had to
Yeah.
explain that to my lady while we're watching. She's like, "Wait, what?" I go, "No, it's like more men than children. It just doesn't work, but it's funny."
Yeah, my mind goes there sometimes, man. When I write really late at night, and the later it gets, the goofier I get. So sometimes stuff like that comes out on script, and then I wake up the next day and I read it, and I'm like, this is funny. I like it, and so we kept it in. But yeah, I like acting was fun. I will say I'm not going to disclaim anything, but I will say I definitely prefer being behind the camera more than in front of the
All right. Well, we're nearing the end of our allotted time, but I wanted to always ask you. I mean, I know you got a lot of help on this. Big
camera.
cast, probably a small crew, I imagine, but big cast and a
Right.
lot of people helping out. So, before we wrap up, are there any people you want to acknowledge and give some credit to before we go?
Absolutely. Miss Anita Jefferson from the Military Circle Mall Film in her office. That's her office. Also want to give acknowledgement to our sound guy, Steve, and sound lady, Michelle Hasselrod, and then to the whole entire cast. The ones who stand out to me right now are Janelle Floyd, who is an amazing actor. He played Uncle Boogie. Ian Payton, Boogie Adam, there was Shane Jr. and Uncle Holiday. Of course, we talked about Marquette Carney earlier, and Hillary Moyler, and also Kimberly Tucker, who played Aunt Tammy. She did an excellent job as well. And then Matt Meach, the guy who played Nick, the white guy. He's a great actor. You're going to be seeing him. Yeah. You'll be seeing him in some of my future projects as well. But outside of those, I'm trying to think other cast members. My mind's racing right now, but those are the main ones who, if I had to look at the movie, whenever I look at the movie, I'm really their performances really stand out to me. So I want to just give a shout out to those actors. Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
excellent.
Deron Hunt.
Well, thanks for
Yeah.
submitting the film. I'm sure you're. And then as we discussed before we started recording, sounds like you've already got 3 companies interested in releasing this. When when the weather changes. So that's good news.
Yes.
Bravo to you. That's great news.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're my lawyer and I. We've been reviewing the offers, and we're trying to come up with the forward. Even if it is putting it on Amazon Prime, you know, we don't want to, you know, those. I ain't gonna get too deep into the negotiations, but I will tell you, it's a lot of terms and conditions, and you know, so we gotta, me and her have to reach an agreement on what's best for not only the movie but my, you know, filmmaking career move forward.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, when you see this, I think it's a little bit of a bummer how the image just started freezing. There was no problem with the image when we were first chatting, but
Yeah,
but I could hear every word. So my apologies, or I guess it is the Maryland internet because it's your upload that's giving us a problem. But
right. Yeah. And
but
it's been like that all week. It's been going in and out all week. So yeah,
I got
I'm
lucky, man. My
apologize.
neighborhood, we got upgraded like a month ago. Like it went out for half a day and they came back and they sent everyone an email saying they upgraded the equipment. So we're a little better finally. So,
Mhm.
but anyway,
Can I
thank
give
you so
three,
much.
can I give
Yeah.
can I give three more actors' names real quick? David Morch, who played my father in the movie Shane Sr., and then also the McCants, the guy who played Man and the lady who played Samantha. They are actually married in real life. They were fun to have on set. They were a real blessing. And then Sharon Sawyer, who played the grandmother. Okay, that's it. I'm done.
Well, all right. You have a wonderful day and thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I can't wait to meet you in person.
Yes, absolutely. I will have a shirt for you. All right. Thanks,
All
Shelton.
right. Thanks. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.